Ennaku kubanga twakola nnyo nga manyi tujja kufuna obululu milioni 13. Tubadde wona bwe tutambula nga tugamba 13 million votes. Naye kyembi tukyali tetunaweza milioni 8. Sensuubira nti oba Electoral Commission erina obululu bwaffe bwetabala kisimanyi.
Naye omukulu agambye akoma ku 8.
Anti kati nze mbadde nsuubira nti bayinaawo twandibadde tuli kubanga tuli mu 94% okusinziira byayakalangirira. So tusigazayo ebitundu 6. Naye nina okunyolwa nti performance yaffe eri below average. Tetunafuna obululu bwe twali twagala. Twali tunoonya obululu emiliyoni 13 oba miliyoni 11. Nene miliyoni 10 tetunaziweza. So nkyensuubira nti candidate waffe munyiivu alaba tetuna kye twakoze. So nsaba candidate President Museveni otusonyiwe obutakufunira bululu bungi kubanga wadde oyagala miliyoni 12. Kusinzira amaanyi ge wateekamu naffe ge twateekamu.
Ne vota tanawo tono ebondoozo ogiraba okusinzira ku bukadde 21 n'obutunutundu obugwamu awo n'abaakafunibwawo obudde buno.
Nti abalonzi tebamanyi mugaso gw'okuba akalulu kubanga projection ya NRM yali enoonya obukadde 13 naye kati tulina obukadde 7 ne mitwalo 6. Nsuubira tetunaweza na miliyoni 8 ate tusigaza 4%. Sekitegeeza tuyinza obutaweza mu bukadde 8. So tukoze bubi tetukoze bulungi, tukoze bubi nnyo era candidate kyemanyi munyiivu. Naye kati nga omukuba campaign abe nsaba candidate atusonyiwe abantu batukoze bubi kubanga tebazzengayo twabadde tubasuubira. Twabadde tusuubira obululu mungi naye njagala kuyozayoza abo abawangudde n'okugumya abo be batanalangirira nti tulina obudde paka ssaawa 11 okulangirira ebivudde mu kulonda mu bitundu by'eggwanga byonna. Akakiiko k'ebyokulonda kusinziira ku mateeka bakawa ssaawa 48. So nsaba bannayuganda buli omu abeere mu maka ge ekirangiro tusigazaayo nnya kati Bobi Wine ayinza otusingira mu 4%. Mu 4%
kyetulinza okulaba honorable
tasobola tusinga mu 4%. Kati kyogamba 4% of polling station zisobola omukolera obukadde 3 n'atujjayo waggulu kuba olaba ali mu 25 tuli mu 7.
ensonga za kibalo honorable anything can happen.
Kitewali kibalo kya 4% polling stations za 4% ezisobola okumuleetera otuwangula. So me what I think wetubanga tugudde tujja kugwa mu 69. Etunze projection insobola nga bwe mbadde mbagamba 68 to 70 is not bad, but candidate was expecting 80%. Yeah, it is really unfortunate. We apologize, Your Excellency, Mr. President, for not scoring and not getting enough votes as we had promised. Because I knew we would get you about 13 million, not 12 million votes, or 11 million votes, but we are yet to make 10 million. So we apologize to Your Excellency for not delivering the 10 million we promised. And we are yet to make 8 million, but at least the person following us is yet to clock 3 million. Has he clocked 3 million?
Thank you so much, Honorable.
Doubled the person following us.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. He does allege that as they do their own counting, probably he has or they think they are supposed to get to a certain percentage, but that is in their own books. But of course, for us here, we are following the information that has been and is still to be given by the Electoral Commission Chairperson Justice Simon Byakama together with the entire commission. So apparently we shall be getting back to the broadcast house for further proceedings, but of course keeping a tab right here to see how things will be unfolding at a later time. I'm going to be interviewing one of the agents here from a given political party. He will be introducing himself. He will be telling us what he thinks, what has he observed so far, what are his fears, that is if he has any. How are you, your names and from which political party?
Yeah, my name is Agaba Nelson from the Alliance for National Transformation Party, the official agent of candidate Mugisha Gregory Muntu Oyera. We have just received the update from the Electoral Commission, and of course, even as of yesterday, it has been candidate Museveni in the lead. But the most concern is not about what they read here. We need to look at the process to which they come up, because an election is a process. So I can start making analysis from the day of polling. And when you look at prior, before the polling day, Electoral Commission for months and days, they had given us confidence, reassurance of how they had got a medication for any possible vote rigging by introducing the BVVK machines that would read our fingerprints, that would read our faces or iris.
But EC
that wasn't followed.
But EC said that shouldn't be an issue as long as you have the voter allocation slip, you appear on the National Voter Register, you have a right, you have a national ID, you can go ahead and vote.
Yeah, but in the first place, the assurance they gave us before when they introduced the BVVK machines, that shows that they had diagnosed the problem. They were not sugarcoating a cake. There was a problem that they were trying to address. So the question is, was that problem addressed? That's very key. So two, when you give assurance to the country that you are going to do ABCD as the commission, even on the last observation briefing by the Electoral Commission, they gave that assurance. And the following morning, there are different orders, machines are not working, that's taxpayers' money in the first place. But also, Electoral Commission and voting is about confidence to the citizens. So when the confidence hangs in balance, then many questions arise.
So do you have voters who were refused to vote simply because the machines were not working? Is that your issue?
I think majorly it's not about that, because people voted. They came and voted. But the question is, why? Because we need to be critical here as the nation. The number one thing, if you go to the hospital and you diagnose malaria and you're suffering from malaria and they say we have got a new cure which is going to be applied strictly to cure any possible illness in terms of the malaria. So the question is, when the time for medication comes and it is not given and they say go back to the old dose that you had, questions arise. So there is that issue of the especially with the polling, which gives the outcome of the results we have.
So you're not you don't agree with what has been given out by the EC, because I'm saying your candidate Mugisha Muntu has about 57,019 votes so far that has been gathered, making it a 0.54%. What is your next move? Yeah,
one, we are getting the results and also further gathering evidence, and at an appropriate time we will, after analyzing the evidence that we will have on table, we'll give a public briefing on the course of action of what possible has to be made. You cannot make a course of action without making proper analysis. We are a party that is designed on values, that is designed on principles that have to give confidence to the nation. And so we cannot just make you first cross the bridge and then take a decision.
My last question, the Electoral Commission did put the laptops here for you as agents for the given political parties. You have looked into the system, into the graphs and the graphics in there. As and when votes are being input there, do you agree with what is in the system?
Fast forward, I raised an issue yesterday evening. That portal, one, is not user-friendly. Number two, there are some polling stations, polling stations that are given in summary, where my president votes from. When you check that portal, you will not find the breakdown of the Ruashamiri Town Council as other polling stations. For example, if it is Ruashamiri Town Council, how many polling stations are there? And the breakdown of the voting pattern on each and every polling station. Here it is not shown. I raised this yesterday with the Electoral Commission. They advised me to reach the technical head of the technical team, which I did, but by this morning it has not been rectified. So that shows if I have discovered one, how about if I was given more time to critically analyze that system?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Which really creates some little of, major, dissatisfaction of how that portal works. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, you do still hear allegations that are being said out by some of these agencies. He is representing the Alliance for National Transformation. This could be an indicator that it is not yet over, because if agents still have issues, where does this lie? How will this unfold? How will this end? These are things that we shall be understanding at a later time as we still wait for the final verdict at about 2 p.m. But if you've been following some of these proceedings, the EC chairperson did say that if anyone has any issue, the courts of law are open. So the only way anyone can really go and try to testify or bring out any issue, they are ready to go and tussle it out with the courts of law. That is in case they do have all the evidence that they need to ensure that they make their points valid. But that is something we cannot rule out. So we wait to see. For now, I will be returning back to the broadcast house for further programming.
Thank you very much, Jethro Kasaije, for